Dear participants, welcome back to week 6 of our online course Successful Teacher of the 21st Century. Week 6 is connected with scaffolding for children with trauma in teaching English. By the end of the week, you are going to recognize the unconscious defense mechanism of projection and transference to break negative patterns. Apply practical strategies within your classroom to make them safer places. To be ready to implement some practical trauma-informed classroom strategies to manage the distressed behavior. Nowadays, teachers and schools need to be aware of trauma because children who have experienced a traumatic event have an increased risk of academic, social, and emotional problems. Addressing mental health issues in the classroom helps teachers better accommodate and support students affected by trauma. Main idea of teaching trauma-related children is expect unexpected responses. Teachers must learn to put students' reaction into context and do not take them personally. Students with trauma histories can react and behave seemingly unexpected ways, such as having a sudden outburst during a favorite activity or crying out in the blue 1 second after laughing. The second advice is employ thoughtful interaction. Traumatized students often behave in ways that maybe interfere with teaching and learning, which can be frustrating. Teachers are in a positive power and their students may be overly defensive, anticipating adult criticism or defend as a way of exert. The third advice is to be specific about building relationship. Unfortunately, saying build a relationship is too vague and leaves too much up to the teacher's instincts. Teacher can greet particular students every day at the classroom door and ask about football, dolls, gaming, basketball, or other hobbies. She or he has to repeat this trustful building strategy several times throughout the year, especially after he exhibits anger or frustration and after school vacation and long weekends. What are you going to do next is to promote predictability and consistency. Not knowing what is coming next can put anyone in high alert, especially traumatized students. Providing predictability through visual schedules of the class agenda or school day, you can be previewing any changes to a normal routine ahead of the time. Traumatized students often engaged in inaccurate thinking, tending to focus on the negative. Teach your students that their brain is like a remote control that they can use to switch the channel to help them calm down. These switching activity are called cognitive distractions and are incomparable with negative thinking. When you give a feedback to students with trauma, give a supportive feedback to reduce negative thinking. When giving a negative feedback, use the positive sandwich approach, starting and ending with positive comment. Something I like how you remembered the formula. You made a small calculation error here. Great job getting problem. Create islands of competence. Recognizing areas of strengths in students is a powerful way to combat the poor self-concept and negative thinking associated with trauma. Educator needs to ask themselves, does the student feel competent during the day? If answer is no, contouring an island of competence for students is in order. Limit exclusionary practices. Common teacher practices such as ignoring inappropriate behavior, sending students to the principal office, or sending younger kids to sit alone at a back table or in a hallway. It can be a trigger for students who experienced trauma or neglect. Ignoring them can be a trauma response and make them feel that teacher doesn't like them or is even happy that they are upset. And please, fostering a feeling of safety. Students can't learn unless they feel safe. When it comes to students' trauma, there is much that is beyond educators' power, but there is also a great deal they can do to build a supportive and sensitive environment where students feel safe, comfortable, take risks, learn, and even heal. And I also have some questions to think about. Think about one of your students who struggle with behavior. How can you help him switch the channel when he is upset? And do you routinely share and exchange ideas? What is working with a traumatized student? How could you better improve lines of communication across the whole support team?